In order to get an amendment out of the states, there are 6 independent stages. You got to get 2/3 of the state legislatures. You got to hope at least 26 states send delegates to the convention. You got to hope Congress actually calls the convention. You got to hope that the convention actually generates something useful. You got to hope that Congress then plays along with ratification referral and sends it out to the states. That takes a resolution. And then finally, you got to get 38 states to ratify it, either by in-state convention, which requires its own set of legislation in many states, or by resolution of their legislature. So there's a reason why Patrick Henry looked at Article 5 and opposed ratification of the Constitution in the Virginia Convention. Patrick Henry, for 6 hours, railed against ratifying the Constitution because he thought Article 5 was a ruse. There was no way the states were ever going to use this successfully to actually constrain the federal government when there were only 10 to 13 states being contemplated for the Union, let alone when we've got as many as we have today, 50 states. I think we had 55 according to the president the other day. But the reality is, Patrick Henry had a point. And this is something that if you're in the Article 5 advocacy movement, you have to recognize. This is not an illegitimate point. And what's worse about it is, if you don't even know what your amendment is going in, and you don't even know what your process is going in, how do you make the sale? One of the guys that I've pitched, and hopefully giving us money someday, first thing he said to us is, you got to have a product to sell it. There's no product here. There's barely a process. It's the broadest outlines of a product. How do you make this sale? Over 100 pieces of legislation. So what do? Give up? We got a better idea. Using an agreement among the states, we can consolidate all of the moving parts the states control in the amendment process. Everything from the amendment to the application to the selection of delegates, and even the ultimate ratification in one piece of legislation that the threshold number needed for ratification, 38 states, 3/4 of the states join. All of these different consolidated components are passed as one package. So you can get 38 states to join it and you're done. You don't ever have to go back to another state. The entire process is done. You don't have more than one stage. One stage, you know what you're selling and you know who you're selling it to. We take both of Congress's roles, the calling of the convention and the selection of ratification referral, compress them into one resolution, passed with simple majorities. You get in and out of Congress once. And then the convention meets and proposes the amendment within 24 hours according to the rules that are in the agreement. You restrict the number of legislative acts from 100 to 39. You shrink the number of legislative stages from 6 to 3. And you make it plausible to get this done in 1 year, one session year, because it's all potentially one legislative stage in those sessions. For the first time ever, we have an answer to Patrick Henry, and this is the Compact for America approach.